slept well. If you're in Europe, I hope you're getting ready to sleep very well, because we get to spend a glorious next 24 minutes together, prompting us to ask the question, can you hear the fan noise? Because you thought I was going to say, we're going to spend 24 hours together. 24 minutes can seem to be as useful as 24 hours, where we're time flow positive, where we're experiencing chapter 11, Joe Dispenza, becoming supernatural, time, space, space, time, hearing a fan while hearing another fan, while me becoming a fan of you. Is that the comedy of triples? It is, but it's also 100% true. Wednesdays and Mondays, we reconnect. Thank you for subscribing and helping me take you from my fan to my becoming your fan. How does that happen? Pretty quickly, it's going from the back of the room to the front of the room. What's the front of the room? That's speaking. That's going from audience member to keynote speaker. Has this happened before? Oh yeah, but there are some steps between that we can delve into, because what we're talking about, yes, is stand-up comedy, but it's going from audience member to VIP, where we're literally going to be trading places in a movie that you've never seen called Trading Places. The comedy here just writes itself, because you and I, in the next 22 minutes, get to spend time in a energy flow positive type of way. Before, when I mentioned time, space, space, time, that's where we experience time here differently. The way that you typically go from YouTube video to YouTube video, dipping in, checking out, hey, I've subscribed, now what new things can I jump into? This is the new stuff that you're actually very ready for, which is this. Being able to be cash flow positive is the goal for a business. Time flow positive is where we hang out on YouTube and we make progressions. We make wrangled cowboy wranglings. What's a wrangler? A wrangler is a person who handles VIPs and gets them from the parking lot to the entrance tunnel, the entrance tunnel to the green room to the stage. That's what a wrangler does. And why I wrangle you with my cowboy hat is I don't know exactly what stage you are at, but now you see the reason for the inside baseball truth of, why is this Chinese guy wearing a cowboy hat? He looks awesome. Should I get a cowboy hat and potentially risk looking silly, looking out of place? No. What you're doing with a cowboy hat that you can buy for 25 bucks or less, or 50 bucks at the max, is you watch these videos with a cowboy hat on. Why? Because it's your literal thinking cap, and you can't help but look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, this hat, it actually doesn't look bad. This hat reminds you to wrangle yourself. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for the energy. Because when you sit crisscross applesauce and put on your thinking cap, you're kind of 0 for 3 because you're not exactly sitting as energetic as you were when you were 4 years old, and you're 0 for 3. Let's have you be 3 for 3 with this breathing into us in our cowboy state of mind. Is this episode number 1452? It is. Jared, Olivia is here. Thank you, sweet girl. How are you? Love the hat, by the way. We are actually talking about my cowboy hat, because my cowboy hat is a ubiquitous cowboy hat that is wrangling a beast that I own, which is Tom Brady. You see, the cowboy hat connects to wrangling a goat because it's realizing that Tom Brady, the human's mental state of mind, can be replicated. Thank you for liking my dog. His name's Tom Brady. Tom Brady says hi. That's me wagging his paw, but you get that he would like to say hi. Sniff, sniff. Which is right into, on script, how do we breathe our way into cowboying up a slightly better mindset? And that is the double snort prior to Nadi Shadana, in addition to James Nestor. This is the comedy of triples naturally. Why? Because I just dropped 3 things, including dog communication. Almost as good as when dogs talk to you by pressing on the words, pay me, not you, but feed me, pet me, take me for a walk. No, I don't want a bath. No, I don't want a bath. You seen those videos where the dog presses a button? We're doing 3 things together with this one singular focus. Stop multitasking. Focus. We're cowboying up. Don't multitask. You're going to lose this. Which is 1, the double nose snot blow. Tom Brady doesn't have a cold. He's wanting to play. Now, you guys, yes, get tissue paper, but ideally you would just do it like a dog. Why are we doing this? Because it's Nadi Shadana breathing from Larry Chang, the yoga teacher, which is alternative nostril breathing. Why is this important? It dovetails into cowboy up point number 3, which is James Nestor writing the book Breathe with the double nostril puppy snort. Do you see that last snort? That was where the air didn't come out, and then it went, and it got stuck in my face. We don't want to have it get stuck in our face because we want to be able to do nasal exhale breathing by snorting boogers on our puppy. He likes it. Why are we doing this? Because we want to realize which side of our nasal passages are slightly more clear. We want to realize that Nadi Shadana breathing is a 6,000-year-old practice that removes mouth breathing from even being an option. Sometimes people's nasal passages aren't clear until 2 o'clock. Some people's nasal passages, one side or the other side, are never clear. What we're doing here is we're in the comedy of triples where I'm walking you through why it's funny. It's funny because, one, it's a double nose exhale, a snort. Did you hear that? I hear it. And that's also something that we experience is sometimes we hear things that the external world cannot hear. Which is how we want to breathe. Let me repeat that last point if you're just jumping in. We can hear things in our nasal cavity or in our body, such as our heart beating, that other people cannot hear unless they're really attuned to being a motivational listener. The comedy of these three things. The double nose snot snort, which is what Puppy does. Puppy, when he's happy, he'll do the double nose snort. Come on. It's fun. It's also helpful. Come on. Or you can say, my nose is clogged, and I'm just going to leave this live stream because Larry's making me do stuff that's silly. If you can't do silly stuff sitting alone, then how are you even masturbating? Yeah. Busted. Busted. Which is doing silly stuff via breathing. 3 stages of breathing. 3 stages of comedy. 3 triples, which is the puppy nose exhale, snort boogers onto your owner's shoe or to a girl dog's foot, so that way her foot smells like your boogers and she won't forget you because you blew your boogers on her paw. And later she's gonna be like, oh, I hung out with a dog who's a Shih Tzu who blew boogers on my nose. His name is Tom Brady. Where next triples, Nadi Shodhana breathing helps us go from unclear nasal passages to clear nasal passages. That's the benefit of going from unclear to clear nose. Are we then going to springboard into mouth tape overnight? We can. Why? Because we're mouth taping right now, even though we're talking. Because in breaths, while public speaking, in through the nose. When we're cognizant of breaths, watch YouTube influencers with when they take an in-breath. Or are they editing out their mouth breathing? Because that's also a thing where watch YouTube influencers, YouTube content makers. When YouTube people breathe in through their mouth, they'll edit that out like a psychopath. It turns out there's information between beats. It turns out there's information. This is where the information lies. 7% is in the words themselves, which is why if you just read this transcript, a lot of the information is lost because only 7% of the communication is in the words themselves. This is 3 people. Get lit. John Grinder, Richard Bandler, Tony Robbins, Larry Chang. 4 people. Technically, it's 2 people plus 2. John Grinder, Richard Bandler, 7% of the words themselves. 38% is tonality. That's where when you're watching an over-edited YouTube you're only getting a filtered 7% where it tricks your brain into thinking that it's thinking while disconnecting with how the information was produced from their brain to our brain. This is what I'm talking about when we're going from back of the room to the front of the room. What likelihood do we have to succeed when we don't see the steps? That's why a cowboy hat worn during a rewatch of this video or any video is incredibly useful because it's our thinking cap. 55% of the information is physiology. 55% physiology, 38% tonality, 7% are the words themselves, where we collect meanings per iteration. Let me use my dog brush as a metaphor. These are sunrise videos. Sometimes Brady joins us. Sometimes Brady, the kitty, who's a Shih Tzu, decides he's got better things to do. He doesn't have better things to do. You know why? Because he wants to look like a fluffy dog. Where 55% of the meanings are coming from physiology. The physiology of Tom Brady the dog only has tonality, 38%, physiology, 55%. A dog can motivate us to do things because they're at 93% communication. Why are we trying to help a dog come up with language? That's only 7%. Why don't you just read tonality? Why don't you read only OS, only Shih Tzus? Because get it? He's already naked, and there's not more naked that he can be. And putting clothes on, it's kind of a giant turn off. How about you? Are you doing OnlyFans? Are you just here on YouTube looking for OnlyFans viewers? Thank you for not asking me if I do OnlyFans. Because why would you take off your clothes? Why would you take off your clothes if you're already wearing a fur coat? Let's focus. Let's focus. Which is on, oh, you guys are gonna love this. You said OnlyFans. What if you took an OnlyFans friend and then this is what we're doing. So, coming up with jokes on the fly, it's actually super easy. Why? Because we're in flow, and we're talking about OnlyFans. Now, boobs. That's what drives OnlyFans. BOOBS, boobs. Now, what if we can incorporate that type of attraction to a phone number? What if we could put boobs into a phone number? No, not that time for her. No. Nobody, that's called a kink or a non-traditional, whereas boobs are ubiquitous. It's kind of the gateway item that people only fan into, because this is only for my fans, OnlyFans, or Oriental fans, which is us hanging out here doing this, which is putting boobs into a phone number. Boob 8008. Now when you give people your phone number strangers on the internet and you say it's 650-283-8008, then people are like, oh my God, it's 650 ATE boob. That's us dropping Oriental fans into the mix of potentially we can make a business model out of comments that are triggering more comedy. Because putting on my thinking cap, aka my cowboy hat, transitions, oh, I can take a comment and make a joke out of it by focusing on everything that I'm saying being 100% true, so that way people aren't half listening. They're like, oh my God, how is he going to do this magic trick? For my next set of magic tricks, which are going to be amazing, which is exactly, transition has connotations these days. Yes. And the transition that we're going to be doing is this. You're going to comment and I'm going to tell you what you smell like. So, in the comments, comment 1 period or comment hi, and I'll tell you what you smell like. Your last shower was 4 days ago. Grassy by side, your last shower was 4 days ago. You smell like saran wrapped leftover food that's been in the refrigerator for 5 days. See? Right? So I'm not going to say identify some surfactant, aka soap, but what we can do is we can smell better by having a better diet. Avoid food fried in seed oil, because when you have all this seed oil food, it's causing your skin to fester, where it's not regenerating properly. Because when you're able to regenerate your skin, your skin smells slightly fresher. And it's not because there's dead skin cells. Like, you might be going, oh, I need to go to like a scrub, or I need to do apple cider vinegar, which actually would ginormously help, by the way, because the thing that you're using to turn over everything is in and of itself cycling up in concentration. That's why there's a body scent or a body odor, is because at your base you don't smell that bad. It's just a cycling up, like almost like a crustiness of scent becoming stronger. And when the scent becomes more concentrated, it's more concentrated, which then spews out a little bit of negativity, and that's okay because it's useful in this construct. It's super useful in this construct, but in the real world, it's going to be tough. Plus, like being under 5'5", that makes it also tougher. That makes it also slightly more difficult. So we're playing a game. We're going to continue, which is you make a comment and I'll tell you what you smell like. Jared, thank you for commenting. Good job. You smell like chlorine. Have you been swimming? It's not a bad kind of chlorine. It just smells like you've been swimming in a non-natural. So you haven't been swimming in an ocean or a lake. So what? Oh, are you in an Airbnb? Are you in an Airbnb and you've been swimming? Why does your skin smell like that? It's creepy awesome, right? Being able to tell what people smell like when people drop a comment. Olivia commented, Daddy. Olivia, you smell like, is it grapefruit? Are you using like a grapefruit extract? It's very subtle. Nobody's gonna walk up to you and go like, oh my God, you smell like grapefruit. But you have a natural cleansing scent, and I wanna say grapefruit. Creepy awesome that I can smell you through your Samsung screen from my iPhone screen, right? And now you've got to wonder, hey, does my smartphone smell me? No, your smartphone does not have the technology yet to smell you. Me, I can smell you. That's why, Olivia, I smell grapefruit. What is that from? Oh my God, I know where it's from. It's from Trader Joe's. And it's not your grapefruit. You used it 3 days ago because it belongs to your mom when you visited her over the weekend and you used her new product. Ha! Yeah. God, I'm so spot on with this stuff. Brady, your skin is such good condition. Smell you later. Smell you now. Smell you tomorrow. Who wants to be smelled? Do I have a smell thing? No, I don't. In fact, if a girl comes over and she refuses to shower first, no Chinese sausage. Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. Especially if she's a black girl or a white girl. Oh. Oh. And if she's been playing tennis, no thank you. Let's win at the next game that we're gonna play. Would you like to play a computer game? Let's play a computer game where the score is kept using US dollars. Does this game just get super interesting? Oh yeah. Are we about to win some money? Yes. Are we playing against each other? Heck no. Why would you want to play against a Chinese cowboy who's saying, let's play a game for money? Mano y mano. We're playing on the same team, and the opponents, they don't even know we're playing against them. Step 1. Brand new content. Step 1. Step 1 is an external API. Think of it as football, except there's no defense. Think of it as a sport, but the opponents, they don't have defense because there's no defending against an external API. What is an external API? It's an API that's coming from outside of the house. It's an API that's coming from me and you to Uber, the ride-sharing app. Not today, on June 10, 2025, but in the past because you wanted an example. In fact, we should just do an example that's today, but since I started Uber, I'll finish. Uber did not have a phone number, and Uber, in its advertising slogan and call to action, would be constantly saying, call an Uber, call an Uber. So what I do, I got a phone number, 720-8500. Is this Robert Cialdini influence driven? A little bit, because what we're also doing is we're solving this problem, which Jeff Slutsky from Ohio previewed. He wrote a book about it, and I read the book about it. It's called How to Get Clients. I told you this is going to be a fun game. So, the reason that this game is fun is no one else knows that we're playing it. Because we're on the same team where you thought we're going to play a game for money against each other. That means it's zero-sum game. We're not playing a zero-sum game in the same way that a baseball came and clipped me in the face, and now I have a cool little scar that's temporary, which is the best kind because chicks dig scars, which is the difficulty of reading a book and making money from said book. Remember, we're on the same team. Let's explore what that means via an external API. You see, apps need promoters, and they ask you, hey, do you want to download my app? Do you want to help me brush my puppy? No, I don't want to download your app. Although brushing your puppy seems like it's a fun time. Why? Because it's like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer painting my fence, but you pay me to paint my fence. Who are we in this scenario? We're the people that are making fence painting look incredibly fun. That's the game. Because the game is called, you and I are gonna play a money game. That's the economy. It's just a game with a scoreboard that is US dollars. It's a scoreboard that's changing to Bitcoin, but you don't even have to worry about that right now because you haven't started playing a game with Larry Chang, me. On Wednesdays and Mondays, I drop new hilarious episodes that are 100% true. Let's you and I play a game for at least $5,000. What's gonna bake your noodle is you, after winning some dollar amount from -$2 to $5,000, can share 0 of those dollars with me. I know you're not ready, but you will be if you watch this video a third time. Maybe you'll be able to understand it the first time. Let's go. Let's identify a work conference that your boss's boss is going to, or your dad's boss, or any work conference. There are $5,000 bills laying around. Why? Because the whole conference itself is $5 million to $10 million. It's important that we see the conference not as they put it on, or they organized it, or they. No, we organized it. If we wrote an agenda that you didn't study, you went from they to we not being prepared for it. Because guess what? You showed up at this comedy set not having Googled, oh my God, who is Larry Chang? Why does he wear a cowboy hat and Crocs to the College World Series? Why is he constantly going on ESPN? Why? Or you can say, wow, this person kind of knows what they're talking about. Maybe I should locate a pen. That's step 2. Step 1 was an external API. Step 2 is grab a pen and lock in. Because we're playing a game here on a comedy stream that's 100% true. And this just got super fun. Why? Because you and I are on the same team. And when we're on the same team, we can realize that One, I'm not blinking enough, the fan's on, my eyeballs are drying up. But then now I'm activating my meibomian gland while I'm brushing my dog, while I'm helping us with this money line, which is we see problems everywhere. That's the game of money, where we could focus on our own problems, but that's not as profitable, and that's also not how the game is played. The way the game is played is that we delve into other people's problems. As I try to not knock over my set, we hunt other people's problems. Is this a $8 book that solves a $20 million problem? It is. LAMP, large account management processes. So, by now you've identified where your pen's at, and the fact that you're not simultaneously grabbing a pen and hitting the like button means that the algorithm is going to value this video for you less highly. Why? Because I've done the work of DJing Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, Twitter X, and YouTube into one cohesive comedy set where I've explained to you the money game, which is money as a score, where if you're not liking this video, you're not going to like your future self that ignores these things that are bullet pointed, pen to paper, let's go. When you see a conference, it isn't they put on the conference. With an external API, we are self-starting management of this conference. The they to we component is critical because now you're participatory in solving a $5 to $10 million entity's problems without having to ask people. What do most people do? They're at a party and they're like, this party, the music sucks, or there's not enough food, or I don't like the alcohol or the vibe. You know what's bad about the party and the vibe? It's your vibe. So that's one, is thankfulness, which is why when you're stuck on not liking it or not loving it or not reacting, that's a hezi in your own brain. Forgive yourself for that hesitation. Why? Because your hezi here in a incredibly safe space of YouTube is your same hezi for when you're attending a party. The same hezi for when you're not attending a conference that you're not invited to. Can you use AI to write an anticipatory agenda, an anticipatory set of benefits to the conference? Yes. Let me repeat that. You can use AI to have AI read a conference on, let's say, biohacking, let's say Dave Asprey, where you ask it, hey, what are the 10 walkaway benefits that I can get after attending a May 27 to May 29, 2026 biohacking conference? AI will then give you those answers. Is that $5,000, Larry? Because I don't see it yet. The reason you don't see it yet is because you have to start pushing the snowball into a ball. Because right now it's 75 snowflakes going in 3 different directions. Does this also sound like your IQ of 130 going in 4 directions? Because that's about 20 points of IQ. Wood behind an arrow. What's wood behind an arrow? Is the arrowhead has a direction and you point towards wood behind the arrow. Is that also an erection joke? No. It's a Tom Brady, the human joke, because his 88 points of IQ, he somehow mustered into 500 by being hyper-focused, where he's so focused with his 88 points of IQ, his IQ looks like it's 500. that's one direction. That's us talking about PQRST, preview, question, read, summarize, test. That's us doubling up the 22 minutes because we are now 40 minutes in. This video will end in 44 minutes total time. Let's encapsulate all of it here now. Are you guys ready? Will you grab a pen? The snowball down the hill is us collecting together our 88 to 130, 125, 110 IQ points into, oh my God, I do want to play this game. I do want to play this game. I do want to play this game. And I can't believe Hat Hair looks that good. That's the magic trick of this video, because we are playing a money game. It starts off slow. It starts off incrementally, indescribably indifferent from zero. But make no mistake about it, the first 17 steps towards first base gets you to first base. Walks are as good as home runs. Larry Chang, Stanford University baseball fan. Walks are as good as singles. The first 17 steps within entrepreneurship are nearly impossible to do. That's why this video exists, because who is talking about boring singles in entrepreneurship? Very few people. Who's talking about arithmetic in a set of Brady's ears are sensitive and they don't want to be brushed? Who's talking about each brush stroke getting you towards a goal? Because this is episode 1452. And look at my enthusiasm. Look at my enthusiasm. Look at my enthusiasm for exposing the money glitch, which is there's no defense. There's no defense. There's no defense for us playing a game together. Let's continue on with the conference. So we wrote a blog post. Now you'll have benefited because you don't have a website yet. In an age of AI, it is critical for us to have a website. Why? Because having a hashtag won't cut it. Having social media also will not hammer home a savings account, a repository for genius things that we come up with. What genius things are we coming up with? ROI for the $5 million before the $5 million gets spent. Let me repeat that because it seems so simple and it's so powerful, which is, can you help someone get ROI, return on investment, prior to them spending $500? Because each conference attendee has to think, hey, I'm going to be walking out and having to manage my own large account. Large account management processes is down to the account level, even small accounts, where if you want to jump into large account management, guess what you had to practice? You had to practice small account management, which is why each brushstroke gets consequentially slightly more hair. And it's not stick your dog in a machine and the machine does it magically. That's everybody's effort, is one step guacamole. That's everyone's line of thinking, which is one step. It's been terrific to conjoin our brains. Perhaps get a cowboy hat that doubles as a thinking cap. Perhaps get a small notebook where we can get better from video to video. By putting pen to paper, we fix our brain. and getting the old books that still apply. We just ask it, hey, what if Jeff Slutsky updated this stuff using AI? What if we were our own large account management process? I'll see you guys on the next video. Good job paying attention, and good job having a good time getting better. Woo! Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, how good was that video? The reason that video was spot on is, one, it was funny, but not in a, oh my God, he lied to me and made me laugh. The video was funny because it was all true and all spot on. Because most people, they want OnlyFans money, but they don't want to start. They just see, oh, it's $1 million tomorrow. And then if they don't see it, they're not going to do any of the work, because they're like, I'm not going to do any of the work until like I'm guaranteed, because the way people's brains are wired is, I am only going to work for $27 an hour. Well, I used to only get paid $19 an hour, and like I was too good for it. And then now your brain is screwed, because you'll never make 28.8K per hour. Yeah, you keep talking about millionaires and billionaires, that's a billionaire at $28,800 per hour. And you're talking about how, oh, we want to hang out with successful people that make 100K per year, right? 6 figures. But then we realize this math, which is atrocious and hilarious, which is some of our female friends, they're not going to make 100K total before they turn 30. And then their OnlyFans friends, they just get them even more demoralized because they're making 100K a month. And now you're like broken mentally. This is how to unbreak ourselves mentally. This is how to make our brains slightly better. It's almost like a bra. It's almost like a bra for your brain. It's almost like a bra for your brain. Oh my God. Is that a new product? Is that a new product? A bra for your brain? It kind of is. Not. It kind of is not. Kind of like Sarah Blakely Spanx. It's pantyhose without a foot. A bra for your brain would be guardrails for winning